Great. All right, man. I'm gonna hit go live right now.
All right, let's do it.
We are doing it live, guys. We're doing it live. Welcome back. It is your man John G, and we have another great guest. He's coming back for a third week in a row. So thank you, Darth Pins, for joining us. Battle. I I believe he's still traveling. I know that he was out and about within Japan. He had been teasing myself as well as Aggie Mickey with some amazing pictures from the Pokemon Center in Kyoto. So hope you're having a great time, man, and hopefully you'll be able to jump on and join us this evening too. So it was great seeing you last week. But as always, have fun. Tell Casey we said hi and enjoy yourself, my friend. But it is Tuesday night, and that means you are watching What the Fig Pin. How are
Welcome,
you doing this
welcome.
evening, Darth?
I am excellent. Another good week of logo madness, of course.
Yes, yeah,
And
definitely, man. I can't wait to go ahead and jump into this thing. It's been a cool, week plus since we came to you last time. And a new logo announcement. We're in the third week of four for March that has a new logo. What I forgot the title that they used for that logo this week. What was the name that they were saying for
that
it?
one, they just called it pastel on black, I believe.
Okay, pastel on black. Yeah, but stylish twist of diamond patterns with a sweetheart to top it off. So I guess we'll just jump in, but before we do that, let's go ahead and say hello to the chat. So we have Queen Nerd, and before we do anything, because she is our very first commenter of the night, we have to say a very happy birthday to Queen Nerd. Today is her birthday. We wish you the
What?
very best. Yep. So,
Birthday
Queen
queen.
Nerd, thank you so much for all that you do for the community, and we definitely are hoping that you have a great, great birthday. Enjoy it. Um, if you're still here, I know that you might be busy celebrating the day, but what is your favorite birthday cake that you go ahead and get? What do you like to go ahead and eat for your birthday as your sweet of the evening? Yes, happy birthday to Queen Nerd. So again, thank you so very much. We have Deku Pops. Deku, you do not have to worry, man. There's always every there's next week, there's the week after. There is an endless number of weeks that we can go ahead and have you on the show, my friend. We have Fred, One Shot, Getty Up. How are you? Nikal, Kyber Curator coming from his other channel, Force Fandom. Thank you for joining us. One Shot Customs, Professor FiGPiN, and we have Goon. What's up, man? Let's see. BP, and I think I caught everyone. So again, thank you guys for joining us so very much. Again, a very, very special happy birthday to Queen Nerd. So we'll jump into it. We were talking about the logos. We have the new logo for this week. You have to go ahead. It's a little bit simple this week. It's sorry, any $45 purchase, and one of those has to be a from the Sanrio collection. That gets you the new logo, which is L89. So again, we're filling in some of those gaps between
See
1
these
to
gaps
100.
back here. Still a couple of them. I had to write them down.
There you go. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Um, ooh, cheesecake. That's your birthday dessert. Awesome. Love it. So yeah, so they're filling in those gaps between 1 and 100 with these couple of logos. And again, you're going ahead and purchasing any $45 purchase, and one of those pins in that $45 purchase has to go ahead and be from the Sanrio collection. I'm hoping that my order that I placed goes ahead, and I selected one because when I went to go click on the link in the blog post, it didn't take, there was no link this week. So I just typed in Sanrio in, I don't know, did you see that also, Darth?
I did. I looked and I was kind of, had that little mini panic, like, am I going to get it in
Yeah.
time? And
So
then
I just typed in Sanrio in the search bar, and I had picked up one of the Attack on Titan Hello Kitty crossover, I guess, that I had never picked up. So happy to go ahead and fill in some more of the wall behind me, even though I don't have that high up on the wall yet. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
It's a
Shout out to
Sanrio pin that you
Professor.
need to go ahead and.
He was on that trigger because FiGPiN took a little bit. I don't think the official blog came out till 21, 22 after. He had actually posted it. It's out. Just double check. And then so I grabbed that. I threw that in our page and kind of the jump on it because it was probably about 25 after, just about 21, 25
Yep.
after before it
Yep.
popped up on the blog. And I'm thinking of going, is it going to be 2 o'clock? Is it going to be 3 o'clock? Usually it's 1 o'clock, but you know, the professor was right on top of it.
Yep. We always thankful for Professor. Always checking for all that information. So, uh, I ordered both Hello Kitty and JJK 2 packs, and order got updated with logo. My So Getty, that's actually an interesting question. I didn't go ahead. Did your order automatically get updated in the cart, or did it get updated when you after you placed it and you seen it get updated later in your account? Because when I did it, it did not show up in my cart. So I'm hoping that I did it correctly, or at least one of the pins that I picked was from the collection that they said that was that Sanrio pin that I picked up was part of the collection that they were looking to get have you be eligible for that pin.
We'll tell you, John, I just got my updated cart today at 6:47 with the I actually went big this week. I went for another Hall of Armor box set. So I did get my logo pin, my AP, and my mystery random AP or regular. So, maybe they're still just updating the cards right now.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Um, I know this is not a fig pin, but I do have quite a lot of points within the Disney Movies Insiders Club, and I saw this pin. I don't know, you guys have got me into collecting pins recently. This is cool elemental pin. It is from the Disney Movie Insiders. You might not be able to read that since it's inversed, but it's a cool spinner pin. So this little spinner goes ahead and spins around, and it goes to the 4 different elements. So that was fun. I was happy to go ahead and add that to the collection.
Some Fry Guy pins has got me into a lot of those Disney pins. When he has those shows or some of those older pins. I mean, if you're not watching that show, I mean, there's some really good old school pins that
He
he has
does, yeah.
popping
I
up
mean,
on
and
there.
I like that style and like energy and Fry Guys, live videos on Instagram. It's always fun to go ahead and catch them and see all the pins that he has, and like you said, from the early days of pin collecting to the most recent, he has a vast collection of Disney uh memorabilia for sure. Speaking of Fry Guys, and I know these
There we
aren't
go.
their pins, but I just got my package today. This is up. So I did purchase the 5 pack from FryGuyPins.com. And then it included, unfortunately, I was not I did not get lucky and did not receive one of the APs from Fry Guy, but that's okay. I was still happy to go ahead and add these to my collection. I know I was a little bummed though because these came just today, and Friday was the launch day, so I missed getting, I haven't even checked these pins yet to see what my if they were any good as far as the serial numbers for my launch, if it would have been a good launch position or not. But it was a little bummed out to go ahead and see that I missed the launch day because of it, but it's all good. Happy to have them again as part of the collection.
Watch one of them be a 2-2.
It'll be okay. It's all good, man. Cool. I mean, we're on a roll with logos as well, and I know we just shared the up thing, and I know that you just shared with me, but I just got this also in.
Yes,
So
there
I
they
have
are.
my pins on fire. Give me 1 second, guys. It seems like my camera is blurry. Sorry about that, everyone. All right. So maybe it's because of the plastic. Uh, but I went ahead and purchased last week on pinsonfire.com They had their St. Patrick's Day. So the first 50 orders got their green FiGPiN logo holder. And if you were in the first 25 orders, sorry guys, I didn't realize how complicated this would be to open this on screen. You got the glitter version. So I was very excited. I know, Darth, you went ahead and showed me right before the show started. You got yours as well.
Got mine. Look at nice and shiny.
Yes, man, they look great.
One of my
Uh,
children have not stolen one yet.
so I did purchase, if you're looking at it, they did put back their uh Pins on Fire exclusive box set. Forgot how they labeled it, but it's their con exclusives that you go ahead and purchase. You're purchasing either a box of 5 or a box of 6 mystery fig pins, and then part of that purchase includes one of their exclusives. So when I purchased it, I was missing this one from LACC. It's a Pins on Fire exclusive Naruto Sasuke. I was excited to again add that to my collection. I had not purchased that previously, so it was fun to be able to add it and then get these. Oop, they're upside down and get
Yeah,
these.
see, they still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 exclusives on there, including some Star Wars fans. If anybody's looking for, they got
Yep,
Black
you have the
Chrysanthemum, Inquisitor, and then what's the one? The TFCon Thundercracker. That was a
yes.
big one everyone was looking for.
Yeah. So if you're looking for any of those pins, pinsonfire.com, make sure you're checking them out. They have some great pins on there, and every Monday they have been adding new APs that you can just purchase outright. There's a lot of cool things, and I know this week they just added, I think that it was the Endeavor MHA pin that had just came out. They received an AP of that, so that was cool to see that they were able to post that and put that up for sale. Lots of
I
fun.
think that went pretty quick.
Let's shift to another awesome retailer, and we have an announcement for C2E2, which takes place in, I'm saying that correctly, right? C2E2, which
See
takes
too.
place in Chicago. And Plastic Empire goes ahead and has a FNAF. I don't know if you're up with the cool kids terms, Darth, but FNAF is Five Nights at Freddy. It took me a little bit to go ahead and understand when I heard kids saying FNAF, what they were talking about, but now I understand it. And then there was the announcement from FiGPiN themselves that they have 4 characters from Five Nights at Freddy as well as available on their website. So C2E2, you're gonna have, what's the character's name, Darth, for Plastic Empire?
That is what Foxy. That's a glow in the dark
Foxy
Foxy.
is Plastic Empire's exclusive. That's going to be available at C2E2. And then you have the 4 pins available from FiGPiN that you can check out on FiGPiN.com's website. I was checking to go ahead and see if any of the other retailers had put those pins up yet. I haven't seen them. I quickly went through some of the big ones. I just was at Plastic Empire. I didn't see it. I went to popsandpins.com. I was on Pins on Fire. Didn't see it. Well, I know Pins on Fire wouldn't have it. I didn't check Bump and Bite though, so I'm not sure if he got any of those pins in yet. But again, check out figpin.com for the Five Nights at Freddy pins available now. There's 4 of them, and C2E2, when that happens, we'll have the Plastic Empire exclusive. What else we got tonight, man?
WonderCon. We got WonderCon coming up.
Oh yeah, what do you think about that logo?
You know, it's me being a logo perfectionist or collection or completionist. I mean, every logo, I mean, they're just fire to me. I mean, I'm still curious what we're going to get for L100. Someone was saying, was it last week? It might be a Disney exclusive.
Yeah,
But
I think that would be a great idea. To honor the Disney 100, 100 years of operation at this point. but yeah, we're not never sure what that's going to be. And the orange logo with the black stripes for WonderCon
Yeah,
2024 is
what's the significance of
L104.
that? You think it's something to do with I mean, it looks like a tiger stripe. I mean, I don't know if there's a significance behind that, or that's something exclusive to the Anaheim area, or
So I'm reading the blog post and it says FiGPiN logo L104 debuts with an orange spiral twist to resemble the WonderCon event logo. So it's an orange twist, which now I'm looking at the WonderCon logo and it almost looks like a hurricane or a tornado, sorry, spinning. What
yeah, I'm
is
looking at the
L100? What if L100 is an LE100? That would be
oof.
epic.
You're talking friends become enemies real quick.
So we have WonderCon coming up. That's happening the week of the 28th to the 31st, I believe, or 29th through the 31st. I know it's the weekend of Easter. You have the logo, and then they also announced within their blog post they will have 4 pins available. They have a Star Wars Rebel pin, Zeb, which is an LE of 500. You have Disney's Lilo and Stitch, a Stitch glow in the dark, which is another LE 500. You have a Scooby-Doo Creeper, which is an LE of 750. And then, which they just went ahead and posted a picture today. Or was it today or yesterday? I can't remember.
It was today.
It was today. They shared the very first look at the MHA spinner, which is another LE 500. I love the style of that pin. It looks amazing, the artwork. I do see that Derek was in here. So, Derek, I'm not sure if you worked on Spinner or not, if it was someone else on the team, but definitely a great job with the art and style on that pin. So, lots of fun. Imagine Last Chopper and Super Match. That's a crazy thing to think about, Getty. So if the logo 100 pin is an LE size of 100, Last Chopper out
Mm.
plus the super match on that one pin. That would be some crazy powerful pin within the app.
In search of LE 100, 100. If anybody wants to help out Dark, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
going to be another one of those sought after.
there's going to be no, and Getty's sharing that there's no variants for spinner. So you're definitely, if you're looking for to be MHA complete, you will either want to be at WonderCon the following weekend or have someone that will go ahead and be able to pick that up for you. So it's going to be pretty sought after for sure.
That's one of those things where in the early collecting, I was getting these 500s and I was kind of being like, oh, I don't even collect it. What is this? Just and now I kind of look back and wish I'd kept some of those LE 500 pins because you just don't. I mean, I didn't know I was so new to it. Some of these pins that came out and just yeah, oh, you need that? Yeah, here you go. Yeah, I'll give it to you for nothing, and then being like, oh man, I had some gold mines on my hands and something like that where I'm not a big MHA collector, but you appreciate the fact that it's a low run and it's going to be something that's sought after down the road or
Yep,
even in
for
just
sure.
having that collection.
For sure. And then yeah, with the announcement being that there's no variants for it either, yeah, it's gonna be, I think, a very sought after pin for sure. I'm not sure about the other, so obviously that's the very first, besides the logo pin, that's the very first pin that they have announced for WonderCon, at least the images for it.
We're going to get the rest of them either this week or
And for
maybe.
those wondering, I went to just see so we can share here. WonderCon FiGPiN's booth is 2067. So make sure you're checking them out at booth 2067.
Now, I'm
Sorry about
curious,
that.
where is glow in the dark Anakin? Number
Oh,
1564.
you
Where is that Anakin hiding?
have you seen this yet today?
No, no. I was kind of when I came home, I was kind of a little in the weeds with doing stuff for the kids, but you know, I'm I mean, I'm sitting there thinking about it like, where's this guy?
So admittedly, I was This was shared with me from the one and only professor. And if you go to deepdiscount.com and search for that pin, he shows up there. There is no
Discount.
artwork for the pin. But again, deepdiscount.com. And if you search for FiGPiN 1564, there is a placeholder at least for that pin. So I'm not sure if like what's happening with it as far as the pin itself, when it's going to be released, when it's going to be announced officially. But it was the first time that we've seen it posted anywhere. So thank you to Professor for sharing that with me. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that pin.
Interesting.
Yep.
I've been waiting to be getting asked about it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm curious as anybody. I mean, there's another retailer they're expanding out to try to get that name out there. But I'm just looking at that site right now, and they got some pretty good discounts on stuff here that I've never some pins that I didn't even. There's a Dragon Ball Goku number 551.
Yeah, so if you
Yoink.
go to deep discount, they I know it was at when they first popped up within the FigPin community as having Fig pins, people were a little bit skeptical, but I know that some people purchased from them and they received the pins, everything worked well. So they seem to be a legit company to order from. And again, like I said, this is just the first time. So Professor shared it with me, and Professor is sharing that he had actually seen it from FigPin DB. So FigPin DB, always scouring the net, the interwebs for all FigPin related information. So thank you to FigPin DB for finding that little drop of hopefully the glow in the dark or Force Ghosts Anakin coming out soon.
Fingers crossed on that one.
And let me see. I just saw someone post a comment. So Getty Up is asking, think we'll get Cybercell and or mystery minis at the booth. I'm assuming he meant new Cybercells and or mystery minis at the booth. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping for sure. I'm not sure if they're going to do how they did at NYCC, where some of those mystery minis that had been seen at bumpandbite.com's website will have a first appearance. Not that it's going to be an exclusive to the event, but maybe we'll get to see those mystery minis there available for the first time for purchase as well. And maybe the Cyberpunk cards will show up as well. But FigPin also might throw some curveballs and have some new exciting license that we've never seen before show up there, or Amato or Dan, or someone from the team, or maybe have one of the volunteers sharing some bling on their lanyards. So it's always fun to see those little drops at the events like that.
Easter eggs.
Yep.
Yeah, because New York Comic Con was when they had it was at the Awesome Fest. They had the three Hello Kitties for the Halloween.
Yes, they did.
And you walk in the door and you're like, what's this? They're like, you want them? I'm like, first time I've seen it. How many are there? 500, 1,000?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, that
show
was
them.
cool. That was fun to go ahead and see that happen. What is that? What did Goon can confirm that starting with Dragon Ball Super Cybercell, no more box toppers. Oh, really? That stinks. I didn't realize they were getting rid of the box toppers. Okay. Well, that's some sad news. Can't make it
That's
to
for the, oh, it is
WonderCon.
Cybercell.
Yep. But the
Toppers are what,
Cyberpunk.
the little, um, was it the plastic thing or was it the cardboard that's on the top of the,
So this is on top of each of the
oh, okay.
cases of, and they look like this. So do I have,
That's right.
so that's the box topper for JJK. And then just for size reference, there's a MHA regular size Cybercell card. So that's what was on top of the boxes. And there's four do I want to say variants? I'm not sure if that's the right way. There's four different box toppers that were coming inside the boxes, and they represented, I believe it was the two or three of the super rares and the one hyper rare, if I'm remembering correctly.
Those have any serials on them, or they tracked a specific way via app, or that's just something
The
that
box toppers?
well the big one you just pulled out there in the cyber cells.
Yeah,
Is there a
so
way that those
yep. And I have to
you want to
go
reveal
ahead
here?
and, but right where my fingers are, there
Okay.
is a QR code with a serial number on the side of it here. And this goes ahead and represents the regular size card that is of this character, who is Megumi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But yeah, so this card represents whatever the card number is of the regular set. This is just a oversized card within Cybercell. Very cool.
I think Pops and Pins when they first were doing something a few months back, and I pulled some of those, and I was like, I don't know anything about them, so I end up just hey, stick them in so and so's boxes. I was like, I would show up and I'd have no idea what to do with those cards.
Yeah,
I,
no, they're pretty fun.
and for Christmas, I think I ordered I went crazy and bought like 5 boxes of Lorcana, and I still haven't even opened any of them. And people are like, "What are you doing? You might have a rare or something." And I'm like,
Of which set?
it was the first one. They got a bunch of new ones in. There was two of them. There was like the Floodborn or something. The second thing they came out, and I got
Oh,
2 or 3
you
packs
said
of the first
Lorcana.
one.
That's what I couldn't hear what you said. Lorcana is what you said you got a couple of boxes of.
Oh yeah, Lorcana. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah, I'm still sitting on those. I don't even know what to do with those things.
yeah.
Probably use them for trade bait for something down the road.
There you go. Hey, that's always a good thing.
I picked up two kind of I guess not really box sets, but two on eBay. There was just 2 sets of like Dragon Ball Z pins, and
Do
there's
you
a
care
couple of
to
them that
share?
I just ordered them Sunday,
Oh, okay.
so
So
I'll have to
forget.
send them to you because
Okay.
there's a couple of them that I know I wanted some of the early ones because there's a lot out there that are common you can still pick up, but it was kind of like too good to pass up. It was 2 complete sets for like $60 of about 8 pins a pop. So I'm like, I can't pass that up. I mean, there's some stuff I want to fill in my Dragon Ball Z shelf over here. So
Nice. Awesome. Love it.
I think I forgot to show you. I finally in hand.
Oh my
Shows
gosh,
up
that's what
here.
I was hoping you were going to share. Let me go ahead and put you as the
Yeah.
spotlight. Hold on a second.
See, I can't get this stupid glare off here. Come on out. There we go. What was nice about this is there was no sleeve, so I don't have to worry about something being scratched. All I did was I have a bunch of the first edition of the holder with the
Okay.
giant sized hole. So I just was able to replace that because the other one was a little scratched. But this one is actually signed by Eric. If you kind of see it right here.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
So it was definitely something I was seeking for quite a while. I missed out a couple of eBays where they jumped at the last second. That timer's kicking down, and you're like, I got this, and then there goes that bid, and it's gone.
Well, that's an amazing, amazing pin. Now, I don't know if Mrs. Pin's around or if she's going to watch this, but if she is, just have her earmuff it. Do you care to share how much you got Goku number 2 for?
I believe I paid a little under 4 for it, if I remember rightly. I think the last one I tried to bid on eBay went for north of 5. It started off as like 100, and it was like about 125, 130, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I got this, no problem. Right as it hit 10 seconds or something like that, it was like 3 something and 4 something, and it finally ended at like I think 525 or 515. I was like, oh, that wasn't happening. But when this kind of fell in, I reached out to the buyer and I said, what's you looking to avoid any fees or anything like that. And they said, yeah, sure. And then we just kind of negotiated, and they offered me a better deal than what I was actually listed for. So I was very excited to get something like that. That's one of more of the gaps I could fill in. And surprisingly enough, I thought I was Star Wars complete. I didn't have this guy. Not that I cared
Oh,
that he was an AP, but I've been seeing him as
is
a
that
non-AP for four. It's the child with the frog coming out of his mouth.
is that 5'10", 5'11"?
5'11".
So
That was one
that,
I'd
I'm
always
pretty.
see at one point.
That's the Target
Huh?
exclusive, I believe, right? Or it was 5'10"?
Yes, it's the
No,
one
I
I think
think.
they threw away a bunch of them.
Okay. Yeah, I know that there was. I can't remember which one of those was the Target exclusive, but I know that it was one of those guys that was a Target exclusive. 5'11".
5'11". Let's see. No, that says. Oh, this one's box lunch. This one was box lunch. That was
Box lunch,
5'10". It
yes. Yep.
was 5'10". It wasn't 5'10 yet. I know which one you're talking about. That one, when I bought it, when I
Was
first
that the
got
one with
into it,
the control knob, maybe? The Target
it
exclusive?
was the control knob. Yeah, because it was very expensive for what you thought was a common pin. And oh no, you know what? It's force. He's doing the force. That was 577.
Hmm.
That was the one that was
Yep, the Target
was
exclusive.
like
There you go.
between 40 and $60. I even saw a bunch for 80 when I first was trying to get into the play catch up on these pins, and I was like, why is this pin? This is 4,000 of them made, and they're like, well, it didn't sell too well, so Target decided to relieve themselves of a lot of inventory,
Yep.
which apparently that's what happened to Goku number two, from what I was asking some people about. I think I maybe asked you too, that
Yep.
another one where they just kind of.
Yeah, that well, I think if I remember correctly, when you showed me a sneak peek before you did your pictures of Goku 2, that you also got the entire box set, right? So it came with the shot glass,
Yes.
the Vegeta pop, the socks, right?
Yep, the socks that has like a beautiful it's a glass like a Stein, like the beer
Yeah,
mug,
pint glass. Yeah, yeah.
pint glass. I can't think of the pint. And it's just look at it going, oh man. I'm like, I wonder who wants this stuff. And someone, I think it was you, was like, dude, you got to keep that whole box set because the pen's part of it. You don't just get rid of that. And I was like, oh yeah.
Yep.
So I just wrapped it back up in the bubble and then just put it back, put it away.
So
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 it's.
to excuse me, guys, sorry about that. To think that that entire Best Buy exclusive set, if I remember, was like $35 to $40. And to think that there's a pin sitting in there that's worth a few $100s alone, and then you have the socks and the shot glass and the pint glass and then the Vegeta pop, which is funny because the Vegeta pop is really not worth much.
No,
So
it's.
I think because that Vegeta pop wasn't exclusive to that box set or that Dragon Ball loot crate style, I think maybe that's why it's not as expensive.
Because there was, I think, 5 or 10,000 of that Vegeta. I looked it up, and there was only what. Well, actually, it probably matched the numbers for the
Yeah, so
Goku, but they didn't
it
make that
was
many
like
boxes.
5,500 boxes that they made for that.
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah. And then they didn't sell well, and now they have, according to what Best Buy, from what we've heard from Best Buy, is that they just don't know where those are. So they kind of like lost them in their inventory, and it's missing. I'm sure
Oof.
someone might have picked them up in some, pallet deal and they're sitting on all these things and they don't even know what they have possibly.
Just keep those away, man. Keep that.
Yep.
Hope you lose them forever. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
it's
Because that,
checking
yeah,
out that
just
one.
imagine if that's found and there's these other thousands of pins get released into the market, the value of that pin drops way, way down.
Yeah, it's happened before. I mean, Hasbro famous for. I think there's like 4 different Darth Revens out there, and I got the first couple, and they were like, "Oh, here's another Darth Revan." I'm like, looking at the two boxes, going, "What'd they do?" Oh, they lightened up like one of his sash is a little darker red or something. I'm like, there goes the value of that pin, that Black Series.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to collect Marvel Universe figures. They were like the 3.75-inch figures. And they used to have some cool like variants that, was pretty hard to get your a hold of. I know like the one that comes to mind is they had a Doctor Strange where it was just like the regular version of Doctor Strange. And then they had him in his astral version. So it was like a opaque, like completely colorless, but you can almost see through the character. So it's cool like that, seeing those different chases, variants that they would have of those pins, but were aren't pins, those figures, but it was very hard to go ahead and find and get them.
Yeah, like I said, some of those early Hasbro, I want to say Series One, when they first came out the Black Series, they had all the troopers, all the clone troopers, and I picked up every one of those, and some of those individual ones I've seen for like $100. Some of the early Codys, but they came back out with, and they're re-releasing them at the new style boxes, and it's like, like, well, why? Oh no, we gave them a different paint scheme, and well, that's great. So when you sell it, someone's going to be like, which one is this? You have this version. Oh, that one version is not worth this. It's just
Yeah.
like just like that's what makes part of the appeal. And they're saying it's not for adults, it's for kids. Like, no, no, kids aren't spending, I think, what is it now, $24, $29 for a Black Series now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't
Kids
think
aren't
that
buying
is
those.
no one's doing that as for a kid, right?
Yeah, it's the adult collectors that are.
That's what you have those like, $10, $12 toys for.
Yeah, because they still do. They were still doing three and three quarter. I know that there was plans a year ago or maybe less than they wanted to kind of eliminate those, but they're still making them. I mean, they're still cool. I mean, I had a couple of Cara Dunes when Disney kind of jettisoned her, and I thought, oh man, this is going to be it. I'm going to bank off of this, and it didn't happen.
Yep. Well, remember when that happened to her and they had the credit collection and she was a Target exclusive for the credit collection and Target had um clearanced her out before that happens and they like those were like $25 toys and they were going for $5 and I'm like, oh, I already picked one up, like this kind of sucks that I could have got her for $5. And then when it happened to her and her all of her merchandise increased in price because they were never going to have that character again. I was like, man, I wish I would have bought all of those that were at my Target for $5.
Yeah, some of that stuff went up like 5, 6 fold. Some of those, I know the Funko Pops, the stuff that would sit in box lunch, there was thousands of them. They just all disappeared overnight. And you saw them pop up on the websites for like $200-300 a piece. People are snapping those things up. I'm like, those were sitting there from $9.99 like a week ago.
Yeah, definitely pretty crazy.
And then they were like you couldn't even buy anything. They were saying it was what the, not to get into any controversy. I'm trying to find where I have a post of her somewhere that they were like, we're not even going to sell this stuff because of her stance and stuff. And I was like, oh god, like, again, I don't want to get into any of that, but I was able to get a couple of posters that I found just on the net or something, and actually just one of them right over here. It's got IG-88 and Mando, and I have something similar to that. I've been spending up to I think it's about 3 years. I've been getting it autographed by all the actors and actresses.
Oh, that's
And every
cool.
time it's due to come back, I think the first year I was going to get Bill Burr and I can't remember, Timothy Oliphant. Sent that in. It's come back once in 3 years, and I shipped it right back out. And it's been another year where I think they just got the armor, Emily Swallow, and I can't remember the other actress that. But they're not scheduled to sign for another 5, 6 months, so I probably won't see that for another year.
Jeez, that's pretty crazy. And I know that one of the last things that we also have to talk about was this past weekend, the app finally, or I believe it was last week after we stopped. No, it was during the weekend, right?
Thursday, I think it,
Yeah, Thursday or
because
Friday, possibly, that the
it
app
popped up right before the.
went back to being functioning so you can unlock pins. Uh, with the update, and I'm not sure if you received any of these, but if you haven't, take a look at your dashboard you might have received a pin or two that had a gift.
I got two.
Yep. So if you go ahead and take a look at your FiGPiN app dashboard, you can go ahead and see if one of those queries are showing as a gift. If you click on it, it'll tell you which pin or pins have the gift available to it. When you click on the gift, it is a free trip to the unlocker room for 24 hours. Plus, if you flip the card, that gives you 5 points towards that pin. So you have an extra 5 points on top of the pin once you flip the card. Plus, if you're able to go ahead and get it, there you go. Your
Fortunately,
boba
it's on
pet.
two max pins.
Yep. Well, so just to let you be aware that you might the present, it's labeled as a gift. So because the search query is showing as gift, that's the reason why it showed up. So that if you click on the bow logo, it might not show up as having a gift on it. It's just because it's labeled, the title of that is
Oh
labeled.
yeah, yep,
Yep. So your boba is the
yeah. It's
only
just
one that
Bobo.
might have that gift available for you to send it to the unlocker room, which will then in essence give you an opportunity to get as many boosts as possible and hopefully get it max boosted.
Yeah, that pin right there is 503, and the funny thing about that pin is that was the first ultra that I put onto it. What was it? Power to the pin. Is
Yep.
that what it is? Power to collection. And I was trying to figure out how to do arenas. And before, I think it was Professor or somebody put in, don't do your max because you'll lose it all. And nope, too late. I hit that
Yep.
sucker and I'm like, what did I just do? So I've kept the power to collection on it so it didn't lose all the points because it was down to zero boost. And I was just lucky that it popped up with a chrono and I caught a snap on it. So I actually gained an extra 9,000 points on it. But I was like, oh man, Boba, what did I do to you? I'm so sorry. And then arenas isn't working. So I couldn't go back in there and try to fix it. So,
Nice. Professor's asking you for that poster that you were talking about, did you go ahead and get Carl Weathers to
uh,
sign it?
I had just had my eyes on either getting hit to Boston. And I think he was scheduled for Philly or something. He had his itinerary planned out where he's going to be for the next year. So I was like, I'm pretty much missing him and Pedro Pascal, the two big ones. I've gotten a lot of the most of the other characters filled in. Timothy Oliphant actually backed out, so I was not able to get him as the they call him the sheriff. But no, Professor, I was devastated. And I was like, oh man, like it's one of those things. Like I should have done it. We Years ago we were supposed to go to a Comic-Con and meet. I want to say it was Carrie Fisher, and I was like, no, it's too much money. And I tell the wife, we just have to do this from now on. We just stop double guessing ourselves and just go and do it. And unfortunately, the Carl Weathers, I'll never have that autograph. But what a tribute, what a sad, day that
Yeah.
they're from being a Star Wars fan and the plans they had for him for being in the upcoming maybe movie that was supposed to be coming out. But
Yep.
unfortunately, I did not get him, Professor.
Yeah, that was sad for sure. Cool. Um, did we hit everything that we wanted to talk about tonight, Darth?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about pretty much all the pins. I mean, I don't really, I've got a lot of stuff coming in this week that I hopefully, I'm still trying to fill in those gaps. I don't know if you guys can see the pin board. That was Rainbow Pins. That was her. We got to get these logos up. I was using J Squared's logo holder, but the problem was that they have magnets in them. So if you try to push them together, they end up just pushing themselves apart.
Oh, really?
Um, but with the new setup back here, I didn't really have the room for them, so I wanted to get a pin board, and I was able to get a bunch of logos up there. Try to grab some of the Awesome Fest, Wookie Pools pins. I'm missing a couple of those because I just haven't got a chance to like kind of reach out when she did some of those special events. Bump and Bite, I got probably four. I think he has like what, 7 or 8 or 9, and
I
I
believe
only
so,
have
yeah.
four of those right now. But yeah, trying to get some stuff in there, and I see people posting all the time. They have those carry-all logo collector, um, like a trapper keeper. Some people have them in the backpack, and I was like, I just want to put something on a, when you think about people walking around with those backpacks, I'm like, at one point you had probably about $4,000 worth of pins on your back, and I'm like, somebody
The
knew. I'm
a
like,
scary thought, yeah,
ugh,
for sure.
it's a scary thought, man. So
Yep. So
Yeah,
we are going to be having a chance to go to Orlando this year. We're hoping to go ahead and we are going to do like SeaWorld for a little bit. We're also hoping to obviously get to do Disney, at least one or two of the parks. And I've been thinking about like investing in one of those bags where you have the plastic kind of cover around over the pins that you're displaying just to grab some attention and obviously focus on Disney and some of the other licenses, but then have the backpack with pins in it so that if someone says something, I can go ahead and gift it to them and get some content and share the story of share it on our story. So yeah, I'm hoping to have some fun stuff like that being able to be done at Disney in June.
you got to get a little what the fig, little one you can put in there above them all.
Yep.
People ask you, "What's what the fig pen?" You're like,
Yep,
"Oh,
for sure.
have a little card you hang out. Hey, Tuesday nights, here,
There you
come
go.
check it
Yeah, yeah,
out."
for sure. I love that. We do. I still have these. Do have some of our business cards with our little
Yeah,
logo
I got a
there.
bunch of those. Fortunately,
Cool.
I try to tell people fig pins at work and stuff, and they're like, "What the hell's that?"
Let's see. Force fandom. I am working on logo displays that will go into the FiGPiN 8 slot displays. It'll hold 8 logos and can be numbered in the slot as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. Very cool. Kyber curator.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. A lot of people want to display those. Depending on the setups they have, like they're not going to have the room to put a pin board in. But that's cool. I've seen him post in the chat. Maybe it was what the fig pin where he's saying, give him a size and he'll custom make some for you, which is
Yep, for
that's pretty
sure.
cool that you can get stuff like that done.
Always fun. Yeah. Sean's a great guy there at Kyber Curators. So all right, well, guys, it's been lots of fun. Darth, thank you so much again, as always. It's been a pleasure. FigPin Battle, again, have a great trip, man. Enjoy yourself. We miss you for sure. Thank you for joining us last week. And hopefully go ahead and when you come back, we have plenty to talk about your trip and all the cool things that you've seen. I have not asked him if he's found any fig pins in Japan yet.
Oh,
So he's only showed me some Nintendo amiibos, as well as plenty of Pokemon stuff. But I have not asked him if there's been any fig pin that he's found down there.
I bet you he brings back some cool stuff.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I definitely am sure he's bringing back some fun stuff. Oh, and Van Harris, man, welcome to the show. We are actually about to go ahead and get going, but I hope that you're having a great evening. Thank you so much, everyone. Don't forget this Sunday, the new logo promo goes up into. So if you want to go ahead and get the L89 logo promotion that's happening this week, at least a $45 purchase. One of those pins has to go ahead and be from the Sanrio collection. And you are going to get a very cool looking logo. And then when Monday comes around, we'll see what the next logo for the March Madness promo is going to be. Darth, you have a wonderful day. Tell the family we said
You too, as well,
hi.
my friend.
Everyone, enjoy your evening. Again, this is What the Fig Pin. We're here every Tuesday evening, at least as much as we can be. We're going to
Time
do
permitting.
this awesome episode as always. Yes, thank you so much, everyone. Force Fandom. Thank you guys as well. So in 3, 2, 1, boost awesome.
Boost awesome.
Have a great night, everyone.